Hey, what's up? Hello. If you're new here, my name is Kayla and you are watching Kayla's Bookish Vibes. I decided to do a very impromptu, my kids are in the back, a very impromptu week in my life concerning books, you know, like a week in my life of reading. Right now we are headed to the library. We go to the library once or twice a week. We have to return some books. We may even have to pay some fines. And then we're going to check out some books. So I thought, why not pick the camera up, start vlogging for the week and take you along with me to the library. I am an avid user of my library. I support my local library and I encourage you to do the same. So that's what we're doing on our way to go support our local library. Let's go. That I picked out is called The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. This is a fantasy book, and I think I've mentioned here on my channel before that I really want to try and find my taste in fantasy. If I'm looking off into the distance, it's because I'm making sure no one takes my children. Anyway, I saw this book recommended on TikTok for fantasy, that if you like dragons that you would really enjoy this book, and one of the fantasies that I read in 2023 included dragons, and I really enjoyed that one. So I'm trying to branch out and first of all discover my taste in fantasy in general, but also find another fantasy that includes dragons. So I got this one. It's a little thick. This book has a glossary in the back, if that's telling. 523 pages. So we'll see if I can complete this before it's time to get it back to the library. I'm pretty sure I'll have to renew. The other book that I got is The List by Yomi. I don't know, by Yomi. I actually started this book on audio, and I got like over 50% through this book on audio, but it was time to return it, and there's a long wait list on audios on Libby, so I had to return it. It literally returned in the middle of me listening to it. It's so annoying. So I was like, now I'm gonna have to go to the library and get this physical copy so I can finish reading this book. It's a thriller, and I will say the synopsis sounds better than the actual book, I think, but because I was so far in it and because I was so invested in it, I really wanted to know, like, how does this book end? So I had to go get it from my library so I can finish it. I don't like it enough to buy it and actually allow it to live on my shelf, but I do like it enough to finish the book. So there's that. The author is stunning, however. Her picture's in the back of the book. I wish I could pronounce her name. What I will say about the audiobook is that the slang that's used in this book and like the accents, it's like, I think they're in Britain, but I love, like, and they're all they're all African, so like they use African words and they use like British slang, and I really enjoy hearing that on the audio. But as I'm reading this physically, I think I'll enjoy it just as much reading it physically. So yeah, you are seeing me in true form, like hashtag mom life. I'm gonna let them finish up playing. We'll have to get going in a few though, because they have a basketball game today. But I'm gonna read some more of The List. I really want to finish this book today. I guess I never gave you a synopsis, so let me just read you the synopsis because I can't think clearly and make sure my kids aren't being stolen. It says, Ola, a celebrated journalist at a magazine. She is set to marry the love of her life in 1 month's time. Young, beautiful, and successful, she and her fiance, Michael, are considered couple goals of their social network, and they seem to have it all. That is until one morning when they both wake up to the same message. Oh my God, have you seen the list? It began as a crowdsourced collection of names and somehow morphed into an anonymous account posting allegations on social media. Ola would usually be the first to support such a list. She'd retweet it, call for the men to be fired, write article after article, except this time, Michael, her fiance's name is on the list. And we go from there. I will say it's very, it has everything in it but the kitchen sink type of deal. Like, so there's feminism, talk about homosexuality, homophobia, racism in the workplace. Like, it has everything in it, and I think I would enjoy this book more if maybe they focused on one thing specifically to discuss in this book, but it's fine. The thrilling aspect, I wouldn't call this a thriller. I believe it is marketed as a thriller, but it's not a thriller. It's more of a mystery. What we're trying to figure out the whole time is who put Michael's name on the list and why, and did Michael actually do what they said he did? Like, is he being falsely accused? Is he guilty? So that's the mystery aspect of this book that we're finding. So far, I'm enjoying it. It's just not like a 5-star, even a 4-star read for me, but it's enjoyable. And like I said, I enjoy it enough to want to figure out what's going to happen. Like, how does this all end up? But not enough to actually go buy the book and put it on my shelf. So there's that. There's the update for now. I'm going to hone in on my kids and like read this book. And then we have a basketball game to go to. So bye. This is yours. Okay. Y'all, it's a new day. It's a new day. And very little reading has gotten done because there is a sickness spreading through my home right now. And it's getting as bad. One of my boys were sick. Now my husband is sick. So I haven't really had a lot of time to read. I've been dealing with that. And yeah, but it's nighttime. Everyone is sleeping, hopefully peacefully. So I decided now is the perfect time to start to pick up where we left off on our reading vlog. I want to give you guys my final thoughts on The List by Yomi Adegoke is how I really want to say her name. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I did end up landing on a solid 3 for this book. Yeah, none of my thoughts have really actually changed. I still feel like there was too many things that were trying to be discussed in this book. And I feel if she would have narrowed it down to maybe 1 or 2 things and expounded on those, then it would have been better. What I did really enjoy about this book though was like her subtle moments of talking about mental health as it pertains to Black men and the Black men in this book and how they were dealing with their or not dealing with their mental health and what that looks like and being inside the head of a Black man who is struggling mentally. I really enjoyed that part of the book, and I wish honestly that we would have gotten more of Michael's point of view and gone more into depth about, you know, his struggles and what he was dealing with. But solid 3. My 3s just mean it was like a mid book. I enjoyed my time with it. I don't regret reading it. It just was a mid book. And a lot of my books that I read end up being 3-star. It is what it is. It was a good book. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the best. It was just a book that I enjoyed reading. So The List got 3 stars. I haven't started reading The Rage of Dragons yet by Evan Winter. I really want to, but I went to Barnes & Noble today and I picked up some other books. So I'm thinking this is going to be pushed back a little bit, and I think that's okay, just a little bit. But I picked up some books that I wanted to share with you all because I think I'm going to start reading one of them tonight. These are the books. The first book I got is So Let Them Burn. If you are familiar, or if you saw I think it was my last video, my most anticipated reads of 2024, then you know that this book came out this month. So I went and got it. I actually have this book as an ARC, but it's like through the NetGalley app, which means I can only read it on my phone or my iPad. And I don't like to read books on a screen that's backlit because it gives me a migraine, like a severe migraine. So I decided I'm not going to try and read it on the NetGalley app, and I've just waited until it came out and got the physical copy. So I'm really excited to read this. But since I have this, like these are two fantasies that include dragons. I'm like, which one do I read first? I'm probably going to try to read this one first. This is what I believe is called an epic fantasy. And because I'm new to the fantasy genre, I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with this book. So we'll see how I do reading it. If I feel like I'm in over my head, then I will quickly return that and switch to this. But I'm so glad to have this book on my shelf and I can't wait to get to it. I don't know when I'll get to it, but I can't wait to get to it. So I got Getting to Happy, which is a sequel to Waiting to Exhale. I didn't know that there was a sequel to Waiting to Exhale. I just saw the movie. I've never read the book. So when I saw this book, the cover called to me. And then when I realized that it was a sequel, I was like, oh, gotta have it. And now I want the new cover of Waiting to Exhale and I want to read the book since I've never read it. They didn't have the book Waiting to Exhale at Barnes & Noble, so I ordered it on Amazon and then just got this one. So we'll be getting the new Waiting to Exhale cover in the mail sometime this week. The book that I'm most excited about and the book that we'll probably be starting and finishing in this vlog is Womb City. I'm not going to try to pronounce its name because I will just butcher it. The cover is stunning. I read one sci-fi book last year in 2023 and now I swear I'm a sci-fi girly, and it was a YA sci-fi at that. I don't even think that the book was marketed as a sci-fi. It was Out of Body by Nia Davenport or N.E. Davenport. It comes out this year. It comes out 2024 in February, so it comes out next month. But I got an arc of it last year and I read it and I loved it. And I was like, maybe I'm into sci-fi and I just didn't know. You know, like, look at me discovering things about myself, but I'm thinking like, oh, maybe I am into sci-fi if it's a specific, you know, type of sci-fi. When I read the synopsis of this, y'all, I knew I wanted to try it, but then when I went in store to get it today and I read the inside flap, I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna love this book. So it says, an adrenaline-packed, cyberpunk, body-hopping African futurist ghost story exploring motherhood, memory, and a woman's right to her own body. The Out of Body book that I read in 2023, I really loved the out of body aspect because in that book, one of the characters wakes up in a body that does not belong to her, and body hopping is something that is explored in that book. And I loved that aspect of it. So when I saw that this also had body hopping and it's exploring motherhood, memory, and a woman's right to her own body, which is very relevant to today, and that there's a ghost story somehow in it, which I didn't know that I was into like the ghost thing because typically I'm a scaredy cat, but after reading the Reformatory, I realized ghost elements are actually pretty intriguing to me. So I'm just like, all of the books are finding me somehow. Like the books that I need to be reading, they're finding me. So it says, Neela seems to have it all: fame, wealth, and a long-awaited daughter growing in a government lab. But trapped in a loveless marriage and monitored by microchip, her perfect life is precarious. After an eerie car accident, Neela commits a desperate crime and buries the body, daring to hope that she can keep one last secret. The truth claws its way into Neela's life from the grave as the ghost of her victim hunts down the people Neela holds dear. Neela must unravel the political conspiracy her victim was on the verge of exposing or risk losing everyone. And then the cover. Like the cover eats, and I'm hoping that the book eats just as much as the cover and this little synopsis on the inside flap. So right now though, we need to run to Walmart because it's getting pretty late and it's supposed to thunderstorm tonight, which will make for an amazing reading experience, but I don't want to be driving at nighttime in the rain. And I thought I would bring you along with me because I very rarely shop inside of Walmart. I'm not a fan of the shopping experience, but since I'm going there tonight, I also wanted to check out the book section just to see what Walmart's book section has. So I thought I would bring you along just for that little piece. it's a completely different day. There's a lot of time hopping going on in this video, and I apologize for that, but like I mentioned before, everyone in my family was pretty sick. And I hope my mic is on. Everyone in my family was pretty sick, and when I came back from the last clip, which I believe was me going to Walmart, I had some messes to clean up, but everyone is doing much better now. Everyone is nice and healthy, and that's all I can ask for. So I thought I would go ahead and pick the camera up and start vlogging again. So today, I did actually start Boom City though. I'm really enjoying it. Right now we're like in the world building stage, and I will say it's pretty complex compared to what I'm used to, I guess, with sci-fi and fantasy. But like I said, I'm just dabbling into those genres, so it's kind of, I knew I would eventually run into a book, because so far the sci-fi that I read was a YA, which is a really good introduction to sci-fi, by the way, and the fantasy that I've been reading have all been either like romanticies or YA as well. So I know I haven't really like truly encountered this genre in all its capacity, and I can kind of tell with this book that I'm still going to enjoy it. It's just going to take me longer to read those books because it requires more thought on my part. I am really enjoying it though. The world building is complex. I love how she's going into detail about how the body hopping works and who it works for, and the hierarchy that's still present with, even though this is like in the future in Botswana. It's really complex, but I am really enjoying that. But I'm also really enjoying taking my time. So we are not going to finish that book in this vlog. In fact, the only book that it seems we're going to be able to finish in this vlog is The List, which I already gave my review for. But I wanted to let you guys know the next book, or the first book that I'm probably going to be picking up besides Boom City in the month of February, is Getting to Happy by Terry McMillan. I'm really trying to read my new books as I'm getting them so that they're not, you know, going to the TBR grave, and I'm not just like compounding and adding to my TBR. So I really want to get into this one, but because this is a sequel to Waiting to Excel, and I've never read that book, I decided that while I'm working today, I'm going to read the audiobook, which is like the abridged version. So there's parts, it's not the full book, but it's, you know, the most important parts of the book, and it's only 4 hours. So I can read that while I work. I've seen the movie a million times, but after I read the audiobook today, sorry if you can hear my dog. She's being very needy this morning. But after I read the audiobook, I'm going to probably watch the movie tonight, and then I can get started on this tomorrow, which is February 1st. And it's a little over 400 pages, which isn't too bad. So I'll be able to finish this within the first week of February probably. And I will try my hand at vlogging when everyone in my house is healthy and I can do so. But yeah, we're going to read the audiobook, and I'll give you my thoughts on the abridged audiobook version since it's only 4 hours long, and I can get that done today. I'm really sorry if this vlog was like all over the place, but I'm trying to get used to doing a reading vlog. I'm not used to picking up the camera whenever, you know, it's time for me to read, or when it's anything concerning books, because this is still new to me. But I do want to get better, and I guess that you all will be able to see the progress, just like I'm going to be able to see the progress as this channel grows. So thank you for bearing with me if you're still here. But yeah, we have to get ourselves together. I'm going to go treat myself to some coffee because it's been one heck of a week, and then we're going to start working. Listen, if you've seen, this is probably one of the only books that I would ever suggest that you watch the movie first, which you've probably already seen the movie. But if you haven't seen the movie, you need to watch the movie first and then read the book or listen to the book. It is hilarious. The book is even funnier than the movie. I feel like the movie was amazing. but they did like a really good job at making everything so serious, and like, you know, it had its comical moments in the movie, but the book is just straight up comedy. To like be in these women's heads, and you can kind of like follow along very easily because you've seen the movie already, but it's just funnier to hear it written down, and just like some of the thoughts that they have is so funny. I highly recommend reading this book. If you've already seen the movie, just read the book. Check out Libby. If you don't want to buy the physical copy, check out Libby or Hoopla. I did order the physical copy, and now I'm so happy that I did because I can't wait to have it on my shelf. This audiobook is funny. It's not like overdone. There's no huge production behind this audiobook. It's just funny. It's just funny. All right, guys, I'm done with work, and we have finished the audio book for Waiting to Excel. I think I'm gonna give it a solid 3.5. Is that solid? Probably not, because it's a star, but I'm gonna give it a 3.5 because I feel like if I had never seen the actual movie, and like I had just like listened to the audiobook, I maybe would think differently of it. But because I've seen the movie and I'm so in love with the movie, it is literally a cultural classic. I'm just like obsessed with the characters, and in my mind I know them like these ladies are my aunties. Okay, I feel like I was more apt to really enjoy the audiobook. But I will say the audio version was hilarious. I am still going to read this one next, Getting to Happy, because I had no clue there was a sequel, and now I must know what's going on with Bernadette. I love that name. Savannah, Gloria, Bernadine, and Robin. I want to know what happened. Like, what happened after that? I had no clue that there was a sequel, because obviously there's only one movie, and I was doing my research and it looks like they were wanting to make a sequel to the movie, but it never happened. Not sure why, but I finished this book. Okay, I just want to say that. If my makeup is looking a little runny, it's because I was crying. You want to know why I was crying? I received a package today. I was asked to be someone's bridesmaid, my cousin. I was asked to be my cousin's bridesmaid today, and it caught me completely off guard. So that's why my makeup is smudged. I'm just noticing. But anyway, we also got some book mail today that I wanted to open with you all before we end up closing out the vlog. So let's open that. Be very careful because I don't want to accidentally cut what I'm trying to open. So I ordered this on Instagram, off of Instagram. I typically don't do that because, you know, I'm just a little iffy about that. But with this, I decided to do so anyway. And I got some bookmarks. So this is from Tribe Bookmarks. I will leave her IG here on the screen. But I got 3. These are so cute. And these are really good quality. So the first book I got was this Cat Williams bookmark. Book 1 of 3,000. If you know, you know. This is literally why I placed the order. I needed this bookmark with an iconic interview. And this had the book girlies, the book community tripping. Because Cat, come on now. Be for real. Be so for real. And then we have my favorite rapper of all time, Andre 3000. It says 93 till infinity and books. I was born in 93. I love me some 3 Stacks with his flute. I love it. So I had to get this bookmark. And then the last one, which is one of my favorite authors, inspired by one of my favorite authors. This is Zora Neale Hurston. It says, "Love I find is like reading." So pretty. Focus on Zora, not on me. Here we go. There's Miss Zora in all her glory. I also did my nails. But yeah, I got 3 new bookmarks. So excited to use these. I feel like I'm going to be like saving these bookmarks for books that I feel truly deserve them. And yeah, I'm in love with them. On the book, I just looked at the one with Cat Williams on it, on his book. These are just, and they're really good quality. They're not like, I don't know, they're just really good quality. I'm so happy I got these. Again, I will leave the Instagram the Instagram boutique that I purchased these from. I'm so happy. I can't wait to get some more. I saw she has a lot of cute designs on there, and I saw quite a few that I really want, but these are the ones that I picked up. So yeah, I thought I would go ahead and end today's vlog. I have tried my best to do a reading vlog. It didn't necessarily work out perfectly, but we will get better as time goes on. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of today's video. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next video.